Welcome to Pick Central. Today's Tuesday, March 27th. We are presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. The thrill and excitement of March Mania is here, and the DraftKings Sportsbook, one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps, is giving new customers a shot to turn $5 into $150 instantly in bonus bets with any college basketball bet. I mean, you got a ton. Obviously, March Madness tomorrow, Friday. A lot of lines I've already looked at. I like the under in the UConn game. I think Tennessee's -2.5. I like UNC's -4. I like them over Alabama. North Carolina listeners, like I said, North Carolina -4. Don't forget, DraftKings Sportsbook is now live in your state. Bet those Tar Heels if you want. Check. You can find all the lines there. Download DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code PICKCENTRAL, PICKSCENTRAL. New customers get $5 to get $150 instantly in bonus bets only at the DraftKings Sportsbook with code PICKCENTRAL. The crown is yours. I know we'll get into some other stuff. I do like the Tar Heels. That's where I'm feeling.
Love the Tar Heels, and I hate them. I love them tomorrow. They match up so badly against Alabama. It's crazy.
I think you're going to eat alive inside.
Baycott, yep. Bully them. Ingram's going to bully them. I mean, R.J. Davis. Like, the guard plays matches up, and if they want to run, UNC can run too, but then they could also just slow it down and absolutely dummy them. I
just don't see how UNC doesn't get a lot of easy buckets for sure. But we got a good show today. We got myself, Clemmer, Smitty, Marty. Obviously, we'll get into a lot of March Madness stuff tomorrow with the games coming obviously tomorrow, Friday. But baseball starts tomorrow, my friends.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I know my friend to the right is very, very excited. My friend to the left as well, very, very excited.
His team, I feel like it's going to get rained out, which is.
Oh yeah, when are the Phillies, Mets, and Yankees playing their first game? Or the Phillies and Mets?
Yankees are in Houston
tomorrow. Yeah,
Yankees play till Friday.
Yeah, you want to say Saturday, Clemmer?
No. It looks like the weather will be fine for Friday. There are 3 games though. Mets.
I don't know about that.
At Mets, at Orioles, at Phillies that start off opening day. I think all 3 are gonna get washed out tomorrow.
Yeah.
So just be careful betting those games, especially like.
Is the Mets at 1?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Mets at 1. The other 2
I was hoping for some day action tomorrow.
Me too. Yeah,
it's got no chance.
There's a lot. There are a lot of games at 3 and 4. So there's usually 4. So I mean, some of those got to be not rained out.
Well, everything at 3 is rained out. Everything at 1 is gonna be rained out. I'm saying this ahead. It hasn't happened
yet.
What
about 4?
4, then you got to
have some at 4, right?
You got the Yankees at Astros. That game's not going to get rained out, obviously. In Houston, they have a roof.
Yeah.
So you'll be fine there.
I still don't know why they open games in the Northeast.
Me either.
Just stupid.
It's fair.
Start on the West Coast. Start West Coast field trip for a good week.
I've always
get that out of the way.
Every stadium should have a retractable roof.
I agree with you, Marty.
Like, why
you're absolutely right.
Not just have it just in case this happens, and so you can put it over, so you never lose a game.
You know what's crazy? The Brewers are playing at the Mets. The Brewers have a roof. Why are we doing this in March?
Yeah, it's stupid.
Shouldn't we have started there?
It makes
no sense.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Baseball hasn't always been the sharpest marketers.
Baseball should always have a roof. Football, I'm okay with. Yes. Like, you need the snow, you need the rain, you need all that in that sport because they play. Baseball cancels so fast, so it's like, just have a roof.
Another thing, the Blue Jays are playing at the Rays. Both teams have roofs. Wouldn't you want them not to play each other in March when the weather is so fishy? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
You're thinking too rationally for them, Clemmer. Far too rationally for the MLB. The executives will.
You're right about the Brewers Mets though. That's just play in Milwaukee if they ever check. But if Milwaukee has a roof and an opening day starter, the Mets have neither.
Well, let's pump the brakes on how great the Brewers are. I mean, the Brewers are a disaster.
Yeah, but do they have an opening day starter?
They do.
Okay,
they do.
Thank you.
They also have no hitters in their lineup, so we'll see how that goes for them.
I don't know. Rhys Hoskins over 27.5. That seems like a good home run pop.
Dingers. All right. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say we're gonna do we'll talk some NBA and stuff, a little college at the end. We'll start off with some baseball. Clemmer's, I know, got some stuff he's prepared, put together some season props he likes, some teams he likes. We'll get into all that with that starting tomorrow. Give the any season-long gamblers that want to find some props and things like that.
Yeah,
Clemmer, I'll let you.
Yeah, there's 2 props I love.
Let you kind of take the floor
right out of the chute. Byron Buxton under 24.5 home runs. Buxton's always hurt. I think he's only approached that number once in his career. I like that one a lot. Another one I love.
He is either. I'm off the Buxton train this season too. I'm sorry for interrupting. I've taken him as like my pick for MVP every single year. I will not be taking him this year. He has unlimited talent. Unlimited. He is fucking great, but he's never on the field.
Yeah, those injuries catch up to you. Another one I love is
win MVP this year. Watch.
Chris Sale under 10.5 wins. Chris Sale hasn't had over 7 wins since 2018. So
disagree.
He's looking good.
We're getting old Sale back to the Braves. Yeah, I could root for him now. I always was like, I like how he pitches. You know, I hate him because he was on the Red Sox for so long, but like Chris Sale, White Sox was fucking I know it's so long ago, but like just the way he pitches, the way his arm angle, everything was incredible. He has looked a little better in spring training than he has been in the past. No.
Yes.
Yeah, but here's the problem. Anything has a chance. I mean, so if you look at 2019, 6 wins. 2020 didn't pitch at all. 2021, 5 wins. 2022, 0 wins. 2023, 6 wins.
Yeah,
like that's rough. It's
10.5.
And it's 10.5 is the line. Wins, and which is in modern baseball, 11 wins is hard to do.
Yeah, because it's actually a lot.
Guys get pulled a lot, so that's one I really love. And I get it. Chris Sale used to be incredible. You're absolutely right, Marty. With the White Sox first 2 years, the Red Sox, he was awesome, but that guy's gone. And his ERA even he hasn't had an 4.30 ERA last year in 20 starts.
The potential if he is like 70% of his old self, that's incredible for the Braves.
Oh, for the Braves!
The Braves it's house money.
The Braves don't even need him.
Braves don't even need him. Especially that lineup,
that's
too.
what I'm saying. Just in case. That's why I like taking a chance on those guys when you don't need them. When you need them is the worst idea in the world. But like if he has a little ounce of like Chris Sale left, the Braves are going to be ridiculous again. They're already going to.
Oh, they're already going to be. They're already winning the division. I'm chalking it up. The Braves have won the NL East already.
Yeah,
but that's not matter.
Another banner.
Ever. Yeah.
Do they have who's like? The NL East sucks.
I mean, the Phillies.
What? Yeah, the NL East has 2 behemoths.
Yeah. I'm saying that's not.
Phillies are going to be right there.
Competition besides the 2 of them.
Well, it's still competition.
The Mets are like, eh.
Clumber, let's not call the Phillies a behemoth, by the way. They're a good team. They're not a super team.
I don't know.
The Phillies are the third or fourth best team in the National League.
Watch this year. This is the year where some asses are going to be put in the seats.
The National League is it's separated by tiers. The Braves and Dodgers, that's tier 1.
Yeah, I agree.
And then it's a huge drop off after those 2.
I don't think it's that big.
I don't think it's that huge.
Very huge.
It can't.
I feel like you say that, but then they just get beat.
Yeah, it can't be that huge when in the playoffs. It just doesn't prove to be. Ever.
What? Okay, Meek. What don't you like about the Phillies?
They're bringing back basically the same team as last year.
Are they?
Yeah.
All right, we'll see.
Okay.
All right, that's settled.
I mean, we'll see.
They're gonna win like 89 games.
Best bullpen in the major leagues. 3 years ago, it was historically awful. Historically shit.
Like the Phillies are gonna be good. They're gonna win like 89, 90 games. I'm just not putting them in that upper tier.
They will win more than 90 games.
I agree.
But they are equipped better
Zoom in on the big
to win in the playoffs than the Braves. Than they are to beat the Braves in the regular season.
No, I agree. Like they're better built for the playoffs. But over the course of 162, they're not a behemoth.
This is another one. Well, I'm glad we're talking Phillies. I have another Phillies prop here for us. So Trey Turner, I have him over 27.5 steals.
That seems low.
It seems really low, right? He had 30 last year. Remember, last year he struggled to start, first half. Yeah. I think you're going to see Trey Turner's now been in Philadelphia for a full year. I think the second half Trey Turner is who you're going to get for the full year this year.
And if he sucks, they just have to stand up and clap.
He's not going to suck. He'll be absolutely fine. And to get my Trey Turner points in on the DraftKings Sportsbook, there is also plus 400 for Trey Turner to hit 30 home runs and 30 steals. He had 26 home runs last year, and he sucked. He sucked. Now, great, he's never hit 30 in his career. He had 28 in 2021, but he obviously wasn't on the Phillies in that short right field porch or left field porch. He will hit 30 home runs this year. He will easily get 30 stolen bases, plus 400.
Plus 400? Mm-hmm. I like that a lot, Smitty. Exactly the reasons you said. Also, like you say, he's 31. Power is something that, like an old man's skill. Like that's something that can develop over time.
But it's not even power. He's going to be nestled right in between Schwarber and Harper.
And remember, you're getting a full year of Harper at full health, as opposed to the first half when he was a single hitter.
First base, Harper, right?
First base, Harper.
Still weird seeing him there.
He might win the Gold Glove.
He's so good at it, but
he's already making plays. Do you want me to rattle off the rest of my Phillies?
Yes.
One undervalued Philly this year, that I want everyone to take a look at. His name is Bryson Stott. He will be an all-star this year at second base. Take all of his overs. If he is healthy, he will hit all of his overs as well, plus 15,000 league leader in hits. He led the league in 2 strike hits last year for at least the majority of the year. I'm pretty sure he was at the end of the year. The only thing that's going to detract him from being in the race for the league leader in hits is his position in the lineup. Right now, he's probably 6th or 7th in the lineup. But if he gets cooking, or if there's an injury at the top of the lineup and he's forced to go 1 or 2, he's going to be right there.
He might not even lead the team in hits, though, Smitty. I mean, Trey Turner might lead the team in hits over Stott.
That's why it's 15,000.
That's fine. He also hit 280. He had 280 last year. I mean, I like the player a lot, but I don't think he's going to lead the league in hits. That's
why it's 15,000.
No,
what do you
I'm
want
just
me
saying.
here? Just give out fucking chalk?
I'm
it's
not.
15,000. Dudes, clip it so when we go back to the end of the year, we can see if the fucking 15,000 to 1 odds hits.
Yeah, please do clip that. I'm
Jesus
how that looks at the
Christ.
end of Bryson Stott.
Jack-
Oh, I don't know. Trey Turner might lead. Like, no shit. That's why it's 15,000.
Well, I'm not going to waste people's time with just.
You're not wasting anybody's time. You're throwing out a 15,000 to 1 fucking odds. That's not wasting time. That's saying, hey, take a look at this. If you want to put a sprinkle, put a sprinkle. It's not the debate whether it's going to hit or not. It's probably not going to hit because it's 15,000.
That's a good pick, Smitty. Anything else in the Phillies?
I like what
Jesus
Smitty,
Christ.
You just took Joe Flacco to win Comeback Player of the Year.
Yeah, thank you.
when Smitty gets the red.
I took Jack McCarthy, not Jack McCarthy, fucking the Michigan QB to be 2nd overall.
J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah, J.J.
You got that
McCarthy
in
3
last
weeks
week.
ago. Yeah.
Let me ask this for getting even past maybe potentially betting, but maybe not. Give me, Clemmer and Smith, I'll ask you both. Give me a team or two even that maybe you think it like people think is going to be good that's maybe not, and like vice versa, a team that you think is going to be better than people think.
The Rays are a mess. So that pitching staff is really, really ravaged by injuries. It's not 100% their fault, and also they did trade Glasnow and Margot. I think the Rays, everyone's like, oh, the Rays do it every year. Oh, that's just kind of idiotic thinking. Like, look at the roster, look at that team. Aaron Savali is one of your top starters. Zach Eflin's good. He's opening day, but then beyond that, it gets pretty rough. I think the Rays are headed for a rougher season than people expect.
You do. I get it. I'm with you, but they do find people sometimes where it's like, where did this guy come
Sure.
from? Like,
They always find
that has to
bullpen
be
arms.
said at
Always bullpen.
They have an
I do
incredible analytics team. They have one
Yeah.
of the biggest analytics team in all
I
baseball.
don't think they're going to be good either, but I do think it's fair when people say, like, because sometimes I'm watching a Rays game in the beginning of the seasons, and I'm like, who the fuck are these guys? And then they're 4 for 4 for that game. And I'm like,
All of a sudden, yeah, they always have like 2 guys in the bullpen that you've never heard of, and then by the end of the year, they have like a 1.
they didn't add anybody, right?
No one really.
No one that I care about.
Yeah.
But they also have these like utility guys that come out of nowhere, like Joey Wendell, a D2 baseball player who's like a decent baseball player, but for some reason he gets 4 hits every game you play him for the Rays.
Well, will they just have a Rosarena still?
Oh yes, they
So
do.
It's like that.
He's like their one
This will
stud.
be his
Yeah,
last year, I think, because then I think he has one more year and he's
They
a
won't
free
pay
agent.
him.
So they're gonna trade him, I think, in the offseason.
Crazy. They just don't.
I know,
care.
like-
Like we build a star, like get rid of him.
It's embarrassing.
Find like an incredible young player.
Stu Sternberg's an embarrassment of an owner. I wrote a blog about it last week on how he's just a joke. Like they're getting so much money from TV revenue and streaming revenue and revenue sharing from other teams, and he just pockets it. He's a fucking fraud owner. He's shit.
So Smitty, you got one?
A team that's going to be better
Okay.
than my regression team. It's going to piss a lot of people off because I have no factual basis behind this. We were talking about this before the show. It's just a feeling. I have the feeling the Diamondbacks are going to drop off a little bit. and
Okay.
not make the playoffs.
So let's get into obviously Montgomery yesterday.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Let's get
that's
into
the
that,
one
too.
thing I want to ask you. Because obviously they went to the World Series with how many wins?
84.
84 wins. So like that's still not a amazing.
No,
And that's their over-under this year,
84.
84.5.
I love that over on that. I really love the Diamondbacks. I couldn't.
Did it change
I couldn't
it?
Disagree
Did
more.
it change it all with the Montgomery signing?
It helped. I mean,
Oh,
we
it definitely
also,
helped.
we also have Eduardo-
I'm saying like did the number change, like the actual number?
Oh, overnight, you mean?
I'm saying like did it go up adding like a very good starting pitcher? Did it go up a win or
If
two?
it did, it didn't go up much.
I don't think it would go up crazy. I'd imagine maybe a win or
Because
two.
they're still pretty low for making the World Series last year. And when I say Diamondbacks having a regression, I think injuries might play a part of that. But there's no factual statement to make me think that they regress other than the fact that I think they got cocky last year.
The line is 84.5.
So it didn't move.
So they added Eduardo Rodriguez, who won't be available until May. He does have a lat injury right now, so he's going to miss the first couple weeks. They added, they just got Jordan Montgomery, who probably also won't be available until May. But they have guys like Tommy Henry, Ryan Nelson, who are decent starting pitchers that can fill that gap until they get there. That rotation, once healthy, Kelly, Gallen, Montgomery, Eduardo Rodriguez, and Brandon Pfaadt. It's
a really strong five. Pfaadt was great in the playoffs last year.
Like,
he was literally like the reason they made the run. But he was the X factor.
And then, Paul Sewald is their closer. He is currently hurt. That is a warning thing. And you always worry about Corbin Carroll's shoulder. Like, that is always a risk. But that Diamondbacks team, they added Eugenio Suarez in the offseason, too, to help at third base.
Yeah.
So, like, that team I think is really good. I think that, for me, the Phillies and Diamondbacks already have wild card spots. It's locked in.
Okay.
And I can't disagree with it because there's so many things that they did to add to a team that made the World Series this year. I just have the feeling. That's it. I just have the feeling that they're going to come down a little bit. One team that I definitely am hammering the under with this season, 84.5. St. Louis Cardinals.
I like this.
I think they're just toast. People are giving them way too much credit.
So old.
They're giving them credit for like shit that's happened like 10 years ago.
And that's what so you think it's just kind of like just the name is more at this point.
Look at that roster.
I don't think they're a
rotation.
I don't think they're a 500 ball club.
I don't even.
They're so old. They went and got Sonny Gray, who was great last year. He's already hurt. They have Miles Mikolas. They went and got Lance Lynn. You got Arenado and Goldschmidt, both really good. Old as shit. These guys are all old.
Lance Lynn might be 45 and also 300 pounds now.
He was horrible last year.
Relax on Lance Lynn. He's had some. Last year with the Dodgers wasn't great, but
that team is so old. Even their Wilson Contreras last year, he had trouble catching. He's old as shit. The whole team, it's an old timers league. That team is I completely agree with Smitty. That team is just waiting to collapse on itself.
So Clemmer, give
last year,
give me a team that you think is going to be better than expectations.
The Orioles line is low to me.
So low.
What is it, like 90?
89?
89?
I think there's a lot more pressure on them this year. You have to put that on it.
Keep talking.
There is, though.
Keep hating on the O's. Keep hating on the O's.
I don't think he's wrong saying that.
I don't think
there's expectations.
I think there's a lot more. They had no expectations.
No,
last year.
they did not.
They did not. And
achieved like insanely, and they got better for sure.
So let's say they get 8.
And they won 100 games. You think that
games.
you think they're going to regress over 10 games?
I mean, you just said the World Series. The guys went to the World Series is not going to make the playoffs. And I
that was a feeling.
No, but you can't say like they're not going to regress. Like they can regress 100%. The teams win 100 games sometimes.
It's not just that though. They added an ace. They added Corbin. They got better.
I get it, but when there's expectations, sometimes it's hard. Like baseball's a very mental game. It's just 100. That's just a fact as well. And I think that when there's pressure on you, you perform differently. And we'll see, but I think that there's a big spotlight on him this year.
Jackson Holiday waiting in the minor leagues to come up.
How you think he's going to be like a month or two in? He's on the everyday roster.
I'll put it this way: unless he's hurt, on May 5th, he is on that team.
Is that the day for?
I think it's a little earlier than that. It could be. It depends how much you want to do. It's like 2 weeks usually. I'm saying May 5th.
I mean, Jackson Holiday right now means nothing to me.
That's insane.
Well, Jason Dominguez is going to be on the team at the end of the year for the Yankees. It doesn't.
But that's the very end of the year. Jackson Holiday is a much better. That you're comparing things that are not equal.
I get that, but like you can't tell me that a minor leaguer is coming. I understand he's the best. I get it, but right now he's not on the team.
But we know he's coming. It's like Chris Bryant. Like with the Cubs a decade ago, we knew when spring training ended and he wasn't on the team, we knew he's going to come up in 2 weeks. He's going to be a monster. And he won Rookie of the Year.
I'm gonna tell you, they're going to have to hit the under this year.
They're going to have less than 89 wins.
88.
Oh,
All right.
Okay.
So that's I love the.
It makes me love it even more.
The Orioles.
The pick is in.
He has the Diamondbacks. Now you guys pick too.
Yeah.
Marty, can I ask you a question really quick about that? Did the White Sox a couple years ago have a lot of expectations going into the year, and then they fumble?
Yeah. They had the very
White Sox
young
fumbled
core,
very bad.
Very young core where they made the playoffs, and I don't know, somebody was.
They were 81 and 81 the year before, though, right? And then they lost. Like the Orioles won 100 games last year. That's once we're comparing these that are not equal. You said I'm also down in the Rays this year, Marty. You said who we're down on.
And Smitty, what you got? You agreed with the Orioles. You got a team.
Oh yeah, I think the Orioles are up. I mean, the Phillies at 89.5 the wins. That means they regress. I don't think that. but two teams. We talked about the Reds already. Now the Reds spring training has been a little bit
Got a little expectations as well.
Yeah.
McLean got hurt, right?
McLean didn't just get hurt. It's his shoulder, and they hope he's back this year. He was their best player last year. And to have him out of the lineup for probably the entirety of the season is devastating.
I was on that Reds train.
Me too. And
I'm a Diamondbacks guy. I'm a Reds guy. I was in the ground floor of both.
Yeah, and I'm gonna put a little bit. I'm putting on the Reds win NL Central. I'm putting on another team to win. They're over, and I did it last year, and they started out really, really hot. And I love O'Neal Cruz, and that's the Pirates. 75.5 wins, which is high for them. It's really, really high. But I think in the NL Central, they're going to be in the mix this year.
What do you guys think about and this is me being more like just casual observing. I haven't like dove deep into it. What about the Royals at all?
I like a lot of the moves of Royals, but
I just saw a lot of the moves they made. They actually gave Witt a big contract. They're showing they're willing. They're going to be willing to spend, willing to invest maybe in the team.
Went and got some arms, Seth Lugo. They went and got. I think they got Hunter Renfroe too. They got some like pieces.
That's what I'm saying. I saw some. I feel like they made some good moves.
Now the problem is they were so bad last year.
Yeah, they were Oakland A's bad last year.
They lost 103, 104 games, maybe more than that.
What's their win total this year?
That's a good question.
The Royals.
The Royals. Let me see here.
The A's are
the A's in like the 50s.
74.5. So that's higher.
The Royals, okay.
The A's are gonna be the
it's
worst.
Such a huge jump from last year, but they're getting, Vinny Pasquantino. He's going to be ready for the full season. He only played about a month and a half last year. He's a big hitter for them.
The Paisan.
That's Bosco. That was a Bosco from you right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you talked to him, so that's a guy you talked to.
The guy I talked to.
Yeah, and then you just hyped him up. That was a Bosco, and I like that.
I don't think. I mean,
talk to him?
I do talk to him.
That's why I
was going to see if he comes in in April.
I want him to. I hope he does great, but I like that.
But I mean, he only played 6 weeks last year, though. Like, he's a good hitter. Like, is he an all-star? I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah, hype him up.
He could be. It's not
Bosco in
insane. But you add a bat like that to that Royals lineup, a young guy that's cost control. That's huge for them.
I'm going to tell you this right now. The A's aren't going to be the worst team in the major leagues.
Who is it?
The Tigers.
Oh, I like the Tigers a little bit.
I think
Why?
the Tigers fucking stink. I was looking at their roster yesterday. I just hate it.
They got some decent young guys.
You don't
right
like
now, right?
Screwball or Mize?
I like Screwball for
Casey Mize is a decent pitcher.
Torkelson's pretty good.
Torkelson, yeah.
He can hit for sure.
I just think that they are not going to be able to score many runs at all.
They added Mark Canha. I know he's not great, but he's a bat. I know, but in that AL Central is so bad. That AL Central is such a horrible.
I'm not going to get excited about Mark Canha.
I know, but there's not much to get excited about that whole division.
I'm sorry. I got like 10 minutes left before I have to go. Baseball Reference, is that what it is?
Oh, I love it. I live in it.
And maybe I'm wrong. It might not be this, but they're broussarded.
With the Yankees thing?
71 games.
What is that?
The Yankees haven't won 70 games. Only 70 games since 19.
Baseball Reference said the Yankees were going to go
71
So we're going to go 71 and 91?
61 and 101, I thought.
61?
I thought I saw the guys were going to lose 100 games.
I get it.
I
actually
any
don't
sense.
get it.
What?
We just added the best hitter in baseball, second best hitter in baseball. I'm not saying we're going to win 100, but 60 games we're going to win.
Baseball Reference
lost the best pitcher in baseball potentially.
He'll be back
For a month. We'll see.
Well, he'll be back.
Well, and it's just speculation.
Baseball Reference is great at looking at stats. Baseball Reference should stay out of the prediction business.
Because
that's idiotic.
What they do is because they take the last 100 games that they played, right?
I guess.
And the Yankees obviously did not play well the last 100 games, so I don't think they factor in like.
Do you not factor in getting Soto?
I don't think they do. That's the problem.
Getting a guy like Verdugo,
or like even like a Rizzo being actually healthy again. Like there's a lot that goes into it. I mean,
Rizzo's not concussed the entire time. Verdugo's not like a terrible ad from what we had.
No, for sure not.
So this reminds me another prop I like. Under 41.5 Aaron Judge home runs.
Just health.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of people do that. That was like the trendy.
42 is a lot of home runs. I bet the under on him last year.
And last year was trendy, and he played like 100 games, and it still almost hit.
It didn't hit though, and I made money off of it.
No, but I'm just saying, like, it's crazy that he literally played like half the season and it hit like almost 40.
If he's healthy,
he is incredible.
If he's healthy,
I'm fucked.
But if the way the spring training's gone, and there's like always like, oh, Judge isn't playing today, it's a little scary. And he's like, his toes just like always hurt.
Always a problem. And 42 home runs is a lot, even for him. It's just a lot of home runs.
Yeah.
Even like, and I love the player. He's incredible, but I don't trust him. Smitty, you had a thing we were talking. Last team to lose a regular season game.
Yeah,
I like the
gonna bring it up.
Diamondbacks.
You like the Diamondbacks?
They're playing the Rockies for 4 to start. Who do you like?
And the Diamondbacks are plus 1,200.
That's right.
In that I got the plus.
Basically, to go undefeated the longest.
Last team to go undefeated.
basically.
I like the Baltimore Orioles. Now they're plus 700, but they open up at home with the Angels, and then they are at home against the Royals, and then they
The Angels.
their third team's a shit team too. The Pirates.
Oh, all
Even though I had the Pirates.
Yeah, but the Orioles are a significantly better team.
Yes.
That's a good bet. What is
So-
that one?
That's plus 700.
Okay.
The Angels are going to be bad. They actually might be the worst team in baseball.
They are the worst franchise in baseball. Do you know they have the worst farm system in baseball? They only have one top 100 prospect. Their roster is
Do you
awful.
think, like, in history, we're just going to look back at Mike Trout's career and be like, what if?
Ernie Banks.
Yeah.
He's a great player on these incredibly shitty, horrible teams.
Mike Trout might hit 400 home runs this year.
Has he had to, like, you think he wants to go somewhere
But
else?
also with him, like I feel like
Locked
his back
He's
is just like
locked
so
in.
fucked.
Yeah,
And
that's
now the back is
Like,
a real
I think
problem.
it's a shame to say I think we've seen the best of him at this point.
He's probably
I
also
mean,
at that
agree.
point too. He's like, I'd rather just stay on this team where like it's not my fault.
well, also just seeing for everything we've seen about him, I think he very much likes not being in the spotlight.
I think you're right.
I'm not saying he wouldn't want to be on a better team. Ideally, obviously, I think anybody that plays baseball would.
There's-
There's a
But I
reason
think
he
it's-
stays there.
I think it's very clear that he's fine, just kind of like chilling. Because even I remember when they had him on Sunday Night Baseball on the mic. He's like he's a guy's guy.
Oh yeah,
Like he's a guy you'd like want to have a beer with. Like he's a very like cool, like funny, making jokes. But I think he's like a South Jersey guy, big Eagles
rather
fan.
go to the
Huge Eagles.
I think he'd rather just like hang out. He loves.
He's
ball.
basically on the Eagles.
He's made a fuck ton of money. Obviously, he's made a shit ton. He's gonna make a shit ton more.
There's
And he's kind of just doing his thing.
better when you
Not super
are
recognizable,
a superstar.
considering how great of an athlete he is.
There's
Relatively.
there's nothing better when no one watches your team and just looks at like Mike Trout. We know is the best, but like everyone just blames the Angels. He's just getting paid $300, $400, whatever he got paid, $1 million to just kind of chill and play baseball. He doesn't have to ever worry about anything because that team is never going to win, ever.
I mean, they're
I mean,
horrible.
no.
They are in
He
the.
goes to a team that's like a Phillies or like a Braves or the Yankees, Dodgers. Like there is like if his back starts giving out on one of those teams, it blows up for him. If his back's out for 2 weeks for the Angels, no one even cares.
Yeah, but at this point, people were aware of the back enough. Like if he came to the Phillies and his back blew up, it'd be like, okay, well at least they gave it a shot.
Well, that's why I wonder they would have to really work something out financially if they ever did trade him, because no team's going to take on this contract with chronic back problems.
No.
You're not going to pay him like 40, 50 million.
No, the Angels have to eat some of it. But I will say this: there is no franchise with a worse future, in my opinion, and I'm including the A's, than the Angels. The Angels have the worst future of any franchise right now.
So I'd say we'll get into so we'll wrap up a few last things. Give me each. We'll go MVP, and if you have them, MVP, Cy Young. Give me a dark horse in each.
I have to look.
Or if you got it. So I'll keep. The name already got mentioned. I had one in my mind as a Cy Young dark horse. I don't even know how much dark. It would be like 20, 30 to 1 off the top of my head. I think Scooble could be a dark horse for something like that.
I agree with that. If he's good, if he's healthy.
Like if he's healthy, I remember he's a guy that like years ago when he first came up, he'd be the guy when they used to be like John Means Day with the Orioles. For me, it would be like Scooble Day with the Tigers. Like you always get plus money because they're bad. He's just a really talented young pitcher. He pitched really well last year when he got back healthy. This year he's starting. He's definitely the best pitcher they have. I think he has a chance to have a really, really big year if he can stay on the mound. I like Scooble as a dark horse to win the Cy Young in the AL, obviously.
Yeah, I think AL. I'm riding back. It was my pick last year, and he had a little bit of an off year, but Framber
Okay.
Valdez.
What's the number on that?
I'm not exactly sure right now. His over under in wins is where is it? He slays. He absolutely slays. He pitched the no hitter in the postseason a couple years ago. He slays. And NL Hunter Green is a very, very dark horse. He's been having a rough spring. He's had issues in the past, but man, is his stuff fucking fire.
Tons of strikeouts.
Absolutely fire. A couple other over-unders.
Strikeout prop felt like it was like automatic last year.
A couple other over-unders. Zach Wheeler under 188 strikeouts. Just signed a big contract. He's getting older. He hit over 200 last year. They're not necessarily gonna baby him this year, but they're kind of gonna baby him, especially ramping up for the playoffs. So I think that's under is gonna hit. And Rhys Hoskins over 27.5 homers. This guy's been itching, absolutely itching to play, and not only that, to get an absolute payday. So he's on a mini contract for the Brewers. He has free reign to just swing up there over 27.5.
There's two people I'm strikeout leaders.
Okay.
Zach Wheeler 25-1, and Blake Snell 20-1.
he goes under strikeouts. You're like, lead the league in strikeouts. Zach Wheeler.
Love it.
I mean, Spencer Strider is so tough. He gets 12 strikeouts a game.
Yeah, I know.
And if he's healthy, he's just like that.
Pretty sure Strider's like
He's like plus 160
yeah.
to lead the league in strikeouts.
Strider's the
Yeah,
favorite,
that's just
yeah.
absurd.
that's crazy.
He gets 10 strikeouts a game, and he only pitches 5 innings a game.
The next guy is Gossman plus 900.
Clemmer, what do you got?
I always, I don't have the numbers here in front of me. As far as like the MVP, I always look at Vladdy Jr. for the Blue Jays. Now the Blue Jays is a team we haven't talked about. They win 90 games every year, and they get swept in the playoffs. I always kind of believe in the Blue Jays. Vladdy has the talent. He hasn't put it together the last 2 years. He certainly regressed. But if you're looking for a guy that has that MVP type talent that we haven't seen a ton from him, I expect not an MVP season, but I expect a bounce back season from Carlos Correa. He really took a step back last year, so I think he could also bounce back as well. So those are two guys I'm just kind of have my eye on for certain things, but I'm not necessarily placing wagers on either of those guys personally.
I like it.
Who's win that division?
The Twins are my favorite, but I think I'm going to say the Tigers. The Twins are the favorite. I like the Tigers to win the division. That division sucks.
I know.
It's horrible. It's worse than the NL Central, which is also horrible.
Yeah.
But I think I like the Tigers a little bit, but that's not with a lot of confidence.
I have to go, but streaming Duke Friday instead. We're streaming.
Yeah, we're streaming
Saturday.
Friday night, Saturday night. We'll be streaming at New York office.
I just realized that is Frank gonna be there?
I think so.
I think so.
That's the plan.
We'll have the Mets.
If Duke loses and he's trolling, I'm gonna have to leave. Just want to let that. They're not gonna lose because they match up so well, and Houston's small, dude.
So if you're down by 10 in the second half and Frank's giving you shit, you're just gonna leave?
No.
He's gonna have to stay in the pocket. And just
Yeah. That's just me lashing out already, just in case.
He's preemptively lashing out
Preemptively.
at the beating he's gonna take if Duke loses.
They're not going to because their tallest guy's 6'8". Come on.
The 6'8", they're still one of the best rebounding teams in college basketball.
You watch.
They're gonna kill him on the offensive
I
glass.
feel so
Marty.
good about this game. It's crazy.
Oh, no.
It should be a good game, but I'm not.
That might be the words of death
I
right there.
love this game. Like, I'm so excited. I can't wait for it to get here. That's how much I love Duke. It's crazy.
All right.
I'm more confident about Houston than James Madison.
Oh, those words definitely won't come back to haunt you at all.
No, I mean, you guys said the same thing against Vermont. I said there's no chance they lose.
I mean, I didn't say that. I bet Duke versus Vermont. I definitely didn't say that.
I don't think anyone said that at all. Actually.
No one said that.
When I said there's a 0% chance, you go, okay, what's
Well, I mean, you said 0.
Well, yeah,
They barely
there's
covered.
no clip when they won, Clement. There was no clip when I said there's 0%. You realize that there's never a clip.
Well,
when you're right.
Well, I mean,
what you just said is
that's like me.
more.
But that's like me being like, oh, like no chance Ohio State loses at Western Michigan week 1. Like, yeah, no shit.
Well,
but you saying you're more confident about Houston than James Madison is a wild thing to say.
I am. Give me Duke as an under.
So you're saying you're gonna win by more than beat Houston by more than you beat JMU?
No. I was before the game. I had more nerves for them than this. Like this one, I've.
Well,
You
had
said
more
against
nerves 'cause
JMU you had 0%.
You have nothing to lose
Yeah,
against
but
Houston.
that was putting on.
Well, yeah, no, but Duke just said it.
Yeah.
Because
Against
you'll just say,
JMU.
oh, they were the
You
one
have nothing to lose against
You'll
Houston.
just say they were the
We
one
have
seed.
everything. We're Duke. What are you talking about? I'll 100. We have everything to lose. It's Houston. Fucking Houston. Okay, good for them. When did they win a championship?
I think with Phi Slamajama and Hakeem Olajuwon.
Yeah, with
Elijah and Clyde
the
Drexler.
80s.
Long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Is a historic program. We have everything to lose. Duke always has everything to lose. I gotta go. Love you.
All right. So I'm gonna talk a little bit just with obviously we had a little college basketball break.
Hold on.
You got some
really
Dukes?
quick. Yeah, I guarantee when Houston wins on
Friday.
when
Friday
Houston
or
wins on
Friday.
Friday, and we come in on Monday and Marty talks about how they lost, he's going to be like, well, I had to say that they were going to win. I had to put
That's
my
the
Duke
game.
hat on. They're going to lose. Duke is really good. They're better than I've led them on to be, but they kick the shit out of bad teams, and this will be a challenge. Like he's talking about the height. Houston's guards rebound better than any guards, I think. Shed is like a 6'1" point guard who can rebound the shit out of the ball.
Tough as hell,
They have 6'8" guys that play like they're 7'2". So
they're one of the best rebounding teams in the country. One of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country. If not, I think it's literally them and A&M are like the two best.
Yeah, and then
they just had to play A&M. The thing that I just disagree with him with, we talked about yesterday, he has really understood how A&M is a very good team.
Yes.
And their guards match up. They have three legit guards that matched up very well with Houston. Him saying that was a close game is some indictment on them. I think A&M was a better matchup for Houston than Duke is.
Jawan Roberts.
And when I mean in terms of A&M side, I think A&M might be a worse matchup for Houston than Duke is. We'll find out, but that's my take on it.
Jawan Roberts is gonna scare the shit out of Kyle Filipowski.
And what he's saying about the size, their guards, you said it best, they might be smaller in stature, they play huge.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna be they're definitely not gonna get bullied and outsized, out muscled by Duke.
No.
That's not, if they lose, that's not gonna be why.
No, it's gonna be because they shot the shit out of the ball.
Yeah,
It's
it'd be
gonna-
because
it's gonna-
McCain
yeah,
went
it's
berserk again. They made a bunch of threes.
gonna be because of their guard play.
For sure.
Baseball question. I have one of my. I'm gonna play as a future on baseball. I love this bet. Rockies over 60.5 wins.
That's
Okay.
I-
Okay.
Talk me out of why I
I
should.
mean, the Rockies are horrible.
they're bad.
I mean,
Yeah,
they're
but
so bad.
I disagree. You have Nolan Jones, who I think is going to be a future MVP.
I like the player.
Ryan McMahon. I like him in the video games.
Good lefty.
Solid player.
Charlie Blackmon looks really cool.
So what was their record last
Chris
year?
Bryant.
All these guys
Chris
were there.
Bryant.
last-
We talking about it.
Yeah.
Rookie of the year.
Right. So,
Rookie of the year a decade
so they
ago.
had all these guys.
I would like Chris Bryant and Charlie Blackmon 5 years ago.
They had all these guys last year. Dukes, they were 59, 103. So
59.
59, 103.
So you're saying there's a chance?
It's always
They can just win two.
taking
They
their
can just
win
win two more games.
Clever, you're
Two more
proving
games.
You're proving my point, buddy.
I will say the NL West is harder this year. The Dodgers are better. The Diamondbacks are better. The Giants are better. The Padres are about the same.
But the Rockies.
Yeah, the
better.
Rockies are better.
The Rockies are the same. Rockies made no improvements in the offseason. They got nobody.
They lost C.J. Cron.
Right. Yeah.
But they had Nolan Jones. Nolan Jones is.
MVP
But
candidate.
Nolan Jones played last year, though.
I'm taking a flyer on Nolan Jones to lead the league in home runs.
I don't hate that entirely. I bet the odds are wild on it.
I'm telling you this. The Rockies, I went to one game last year.
I like Nolan
They
Jones.
can crank the shit out of that ball.
Well, everyone
That's right,
can there.
dude.
If they win,
Tell
if
'em
they win,
Dukes.
if they have to play every game and win 12-10, they could win the
So
World Series.
you know who had the worst ERA in baseball last year?
The Mets.
I know the Rockies.
The
pitching.
Rockies. And you know who had the third worst home runs last year in the National League?
Who?
Mets.
The Rockies.
You know who has Nolan Jones?
Yeah.
The Rockies.
Yeah.
So
Well,
see
not
that
Clemmer. You didn't.
see, Clemmer,
you
that-
didn't see the Rockies' boots in the ground like Duke's.
No,
Sure. I will this year. I'm going in July. I'm going to Colorado.
it was.
Duke saw what he needed.
I will be there in Colorado rooting for your Rockies.
I will say this. This is Meek. I went to Colorado. I texted him. I go, give me someone to hit a home run in the Rockies game today. He goes, Nolan Jones. I go, who the fuck is that? He goes, he's gonna be good. So, what a ball player. I'm infatuated with this guy.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's good.
So, I mean, we
Rockies
need
over 6.5 wins.
Duke. I mean, Clemmer. Dukes is out. He's going coast to coast scouting to grow the Rockies.
I appreciate it. The Rockies are a horrible, horrible franchise. But you're right. Maybe they could bash their way into a couple. But the fact that they went and got
couple.
nobody. The best player they got in the offseason was Jake Cave, who was a fifth outfielder for Smitty's Phillies. He's terrible, and he was the best player they got all offseason. The ownership doesn't care. It's a shame.
This would be
They hit
hilarious.
3 home runs in the game that I watched.
Counter that.
I got nothing.
Counter that. You didn't. see that.
I wouldn't dare.
Do you want to touch on the housekeeping, I guess, as baseball goes every day? The 11:30, what we talked about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
We'll definitely give some picks and.
yeah, so basically hot ice obviously we were doing it right before. Now with the time change 11 at 11:30 pretty much every day during baseball season or regardless, but baseball season all the way through. Dog of the day, best bet for about 15 minutes, different cards, props, parlays you have on DraftKings. We'll have the hit parade now every day as well, special guests. So Clemmer will be involved, Smitty will be involved. I think opening day we might have Dave do it. So different things like that. But 15 minutes of baseball chunk really going after the gambling elements of angles and pitching matchups
Yep.
and
Love it.
different stuff like that. So starting, what is that, tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow.
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 Opening day.
Opening day for.
So I'll have to tread lightly, I guess, with some of this rain, but
Yeah, I think
strategically look at that before picking them. But
Let's do MVPs and World Series winners.
all right, go ahead. You kick it off. Smith.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I got two dark horse, two favorite MVPs. My dark horse is O'Neal Cruz for the Pirates,
Exactly what I have written down right here.
as well as Kyle Tucker for the Astros.
free agent year too for him.
Yeah, that's right up the alley, Clemmer. You're looking at it. And then the favorite for the AL, same situation. Juan Soto. NL, Trey Turner. I think Trey Turner has his year.
I'll go O'Neal Cruz. I'll run it back with the D-backs. I can't. I mean, they just improved. I'll run it back with the D-backs to take home a title.
I'm just at this point admittedly emotionally invested.
Yes.
On some level.
See, now
We had them in here. They're nice
but
guys.
we literally found them at like truly the ground floor.
Yes.
Like we're talking not last year, like the year before.
Yes.
When they were like bad.
Lit
We were like
up
we found them like, this team has
We were
some-
trying to bet them into the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. Like
We were like,
we
oh,
found
they're
them.
only 8 back.
They're like this
9
team
to
is
go.
they're like my baby to me. Like
Yeah,
I'm like
it's the best.
I believed in you when no one believed in you.
Yep.
So I'm in on the D-backs. Love Gallen, good guy. But yeah, I mean we talked about it earlier. Like they did a lot of good. They obviously signed Montgomery yesterday. Talking about Eduardo Rodriguez, like they've done some good things.
Suarez, they're based.
Yeah.
Suarez, like they've done some good things.
They've improved a team that was already pretty good, and then they have some young players that are going to take a step up, like Fott, who was terrible in the regular season last year. He's going to be so much better this year.
If he could be even like close to what he was in the playoffs,
I think that's what you're going to get.
they're gonna have a serious.
He's their
rotation.
fifth starter.
Serious rotation.
Big rotation.
But I would say I wanted to get a little bit quick, just thinking that obviously March Madness is they only got a few more games left. I was watching been getting watching more NBA this week. Starting to get really excited about the playoffs.
Ev, I have some NBA news for you.
Go ahead.
Mitchell Robinson is upgraded to questionable tonight for
Let's
the first
go.
time in 3 months.
That's
Let's
good.
go. Knicks obviously back playing. Need OG to get back. Obviously need that elbow to get figured out. But I know. Smitty will appreciate this. 19-point lead last night for the Bucks. Watched the whole game. Had some Austin Reeves over props. So I was watching. Blew a 19-point lead in the fourth quarter.
At home?
To the Lakers at home.
Without LeBron? Was LeBron playing?
LeBron was not playing.
Oh,
That's
gotcha.
correct.
Interesting. Who's the coach for the Bucks?
His name's one Doc Rivers.
Oh,
Glenn Rivers.
Yeah, that's
I was
right.
waiting for the hook. I'm like, why does Smitty care
Interesting.
about a blown lead? And I
honestly
They,
wanted
they
to-
were up the
I
whole.
had him
they were up the whole game, right? Pretty much.
Yeah, they were up.
And I think they were up
19 in the fourth quarter.
I think they were up double digits in the first quarter.
They were. I believe they were.
I just want to
know how-
remind you guys, Pat Bev didn't play last night, and they wouldn't have blown that lead if he was in that game.
Was he a healthy scratch?
No, wrist injury.
Gotcha.
yeah, no, he's not.
That's
yeah,
fair,
he
that's
was,
fair.
He was out.
Smitty, you see what the record is with the Rivers in the Bucks? It's 14-12.
Mhm.
Look at what that team was before he got
They're
there.
a team of. It's been so weird because they were so bad when he first came. Then they went on a ripper at one point, and then now they've been like losing
But,
again.
like that's
is that a team you hope the Knicks potentially get in the semis?
I'd rather. I was talking to Ron about this literally like 2 days ago. I'd much rather play them than the Celtics in the.
obviously. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying where we're seated right now. That's like kind of where we're at. Like it'd be either we need to bump up to the 2 or 3. We're right now. We're a half game back of the Cavs.
Yeah.
And we're like 2.5 back of the Bucks after last night. So I mean we're like very much the 2 seed is very much in striking distance for the Knicks.
That'd be huge.
So I think just not having to play this. The Celtics are such a fucking wagon. Not having to play them till the conference finals would be.
Just having something to do with those you know what I mean? Like having Nick big playoff games. Like,
I'm extended last night. Just watched. I was
Nice out, spring,
a lot
that
of
shit.
NBA that wasn't the Knicks.
yeah, that shit matters. It's good.
But even there's the first round playoff matchups are going to be so elite, and it's so crazy because there's so much parity in like you can't even really predict what they're going to be yet because there's like such a small number of games separate on both sides, like the middle of the conferences, but especially in the West. You're going to see some like insane like the 3 to 6 are going to be separated by like 2 games.
Where are the Warriors going to land?
They're going to be in that right now a play-in game.
They might not even make the play. They might.
I know.
They're a game.
But the West is also like the West is brutal.
I've been saying, but they should have traded everyone.
Like even the Rockets are like 500. They're like 11th or 12th. in the
Should have
West.
blown it up.
I still disagree with that, but
They
I
missed.
don't think
What if they missed the playoffs this year? Do you still disagree?
what if they don't?
And they get in the playoff game and lose. They play in and they lose in the first or second round.
Is Clay expiring at the end of the year?
That team's a mess.
I wouldn't say they're a mess.
Let's say they're a
What's
mess.
Clay's contract situation?
I'm not sure.
He
sure.
seems like the one to trade. You get the most out of him. You obviously can't trade.
He actually had a really good game. I think it was last night before, but no, one game doesn't change.
They're one game from missing the playoffs, and Houston could catch him.
But what? How many games are there within like what's like a reasonable? Because they can't be far off from like the teams like a few above them either.
They're 2.5 out. So they're the 10 seed. They're 2.5 back of the 9 seed, and they're one game ahead of the 11 seed.
What about like how far are they back of like the 8 seed?
The 8 seed, they're 4.5.
Okay.
With 11 games to play, they're not making it. Guess what?
Jeez.
They're fucked. And they should have traded everyone. They should have sold that team away. And now you got a team next year that's going to be even older and shittier.
I don't know.
See, I don't.
We're on a path to nowhere.
Fucked is. Listen, do I think they're gonna like make it out of the West and like win a title this year? Probably not. But I also think the way the West is this year, they could if they can get the toughest. I'm pretty sure the Nuggets are now the 1 seed.
They are.
Which if they play the Nuggets in the first round, that's brutal. But if they end up getting like if they could somehow. Whatever happens at the top, if they end up getting like the Timberwolves,
they're not going to beat the
or like
Clippers.
the Thunder. I didn't mention them.
I know. I'm saying, but you make it sound like these top tier teams aren't that good, like the Thunder and
No.
They're exceptional.
I was saying the team I was listening to the Wolves and the Thunder because they're the two like new young teams that are at the top. So in a playoff series, like I still would favor like the Thunder over them in a playoff series, but they're a team that we just haven't seen them in that like. Played that elite like playoff level yet, so I'm just curious like how I think there's room to question like how they'll react. Maybe if a veteran team like the Warriors could go in there and like make some noise, like maybe steal a playoff series from a team that was much better in the regular season. But I'm just excited to see like the I love watching the Thunder. I mean the Kings are a lot of fun. Sabonis has been unbelievable this year.
The Kings would be their matchup
Triple-doubles.
right now. Right now, if the season ended today, they have to play the Kings for the play.
Thunders they would see in that series last year was 7 games. It was incredible. The Lakers I know are in the. I think what are the Lakers? The
9 seed.
9. So I mean, right now the playing game would literally be Warriors Lakers, which is insane.
No, it'd be Warriors Kings and the Lakers and Suns.
I think you just said the Lakers are 9.
Lakers are 9. The Warriors are 10.
So they play each other.
Oh, that's right. And then
like the winner would go on and play like the
I'm
play
sorry.
like a 2-game or whatever. But I mean, just the fact
That would
that
be crazy.
Just the fact that like the 10-9 right now is the fucking Warriors Lakers.
Yes.
When like you thought like 2 years ago that would be like literally the two teams fighting to go to the finals.
Guys get old.
It's crazy.
Guys get old, but would you discount them against any team in the West?
Yes.
Okay.
The Nuggets I probably would. The Nuggets are just that.
They are, but Warriors or Lakers still have a chance against.
No, for sure. It's the Lakers. It's tough because I feel like we said that last year. Then the Lakers got swept.
They did, but
and I just feel like they didn't really get better. They kind of they're like the same.
It's tough because the Kings are a younger team, obviously, than both the Kings and Lakers. But if the Kings were to go up against the Nuggets, I would say, okay, even if they were to beat the Nuggets, I would have trouble thinking that the Kings could run the table. If the Warriors or Lakers upset the Nuggets, then it's like game on.
Well, yeah, for sure.
But again,
it's we said that daunting task.
Yeah, we said that with the Nuggets last year. Like, the Nuggets,
I learned my lesson with the Nuggets.
Yeah, when Nuggets win this game, like, are they going to really win it all? No, and they did. So
that was just me being me. I admittedly just I
think a lot of people thought that.
I just didn't believe in them. And that was stupid. They're fucking. They're just.
I didn't think they were before the playoffs started last year. I didn't think they're going to win a title. You know what I mean? Like, you weren't alone.
Fair. I'll take that. I was the one that put my beard on the line for it.
Did,
so
yeah.
I really sacked up on that one and it bit me bad. But even in the East, it's crazy too because you've seen a team like the Sixers. Like obviously Embiid hasn't been there, so they've kind of fallen. They're the 8th seed right now. I mean, if Embiid comes back,
yeah, they're a completely different team.
That's terrifying,
dangerous like 7-8 team. Like
that is.
As much as the Celtics have owned them, you don't want to see them in the first round.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think the Celtics would be scared of the Sixers in the first round, honestly.
Well, it's not scared, but it's not an ideal.
Doesn't mean it's a walkover.
It might be a walkover.
Meek, I love the Celtics, but I don't want to. I'd rather have them
You're
play.
being nice, Clemmer. I get it, but
I'm
the
not being
Sixers are
nice.
not
When am I
intimidating.
nice?
I don't think it's a
I'm not gonna
walkover.
lie.
If Embiid's healthy, like I would be shocked if they didn't win like 2 games.
Give me another team.
I love
What do you mean,
I love Smitty, but like I would never, ever, ever, ever be scared of the 76ers in the playoffs. Like ever.
All right.
I'm not scared, but wouldn't you rather
like,
face a shittier team? Like you know,
I'm not
what I mean?
even kidding. The Sixers should be leading the league in like wins, and I'm like, give me them. They're
what-
just, I legitimately think that we're their boogeymen.
I mean, you guys.
No,
definitely have been,
you don't
and
think-
Listen,
Yeah,
they're Sixers,
I know.
Celtics
I
are
don't
better.
think you're the Sixers boogeyman.
Yeah.
I know you're the Sixers boogeyman.
As like someone, yeah. You have to be like aware of like who your boogeymen are. Like the Heat, I don't want the Heat.
Oh, the Heat, yeah.
But like the Sixers, give me them on.
The Heat are the team this year that's just like hovering, like they're doing their. They
do it every year.
They're like 6 right now. But you know, if you see them in the playoffs, like you're like, oh shit. Like, the Heat
But
are
that's
coming.
my team.
happened
Like,
last year.
I don't care how good the 76ers
last 2
are.
years.
If I don't care how good the 76ers are, give me the 76ers. I don't care how bad the Heat are. Don't give me the Heat.
Yeah,
I just-
what are these shitty teams you'd rather have the Celtics play? Like the Heat are in that bubble. I wouldn't want to play the Pacers over the Sixers.
Well, like the Bulls and Hawks.
Okay, yeah, but
I think.
those
I
are the
think.
teams
I
that are in
think.
the
Hold
playoffs.
on.
Why-
That's
why
the one. I
the
think
10 seed?
It's tough because with Siakam, I do think they're like better. But I if Embiid is healthy, which is a big if, but if both at full health, I'd rather play the Pacers than the Sixers.
I don't. Dude, the Pacers have
At
every
full
time
health,
been-
because I think now we're discrediting the Sixers a little too much.
I agree.
Very
Embiid's
much.
just been out, so we're like, oh, they stink. No, they're one like a top 5 player in the league on their team that just hasn't been.
Top 5 player in the league. The dude was averaging more than a point a minute.
Like, he was going legit berserk when he was healthy. He was dropping.
Right, he was the MVP of the
He's
league.
giving 70 pieces.
Yeah.
To people. Like he's an absolute stud. So I mean, I think they're getting a little discredited.
And
just losing the best, one of the best players in the
just
league.
keep in mind, Embiid not only has to be back, he has to be back for at least 2 weeks to get back.
Well, what's the like pulse on him? Like, is he definitely gonna even come back? Like, what's the deal?
They're still planning him being back before the regular season. Last I saw.
So what's like? I mean, the regular season's coming up
I
in
know.
very
weeks
soon.
now,
I
so,
know.
like,
I am very aware.
so what is there any time like a week, 2 weeks, like the 3?
April 14th, the last game.
He was having last week. He was having non-contact practices.
Okay.
So I mean, he's on the court. He's moving around. He apparently looks decent. There's no setbacks. No news is like good news right now. So if he can come back next week and play,
That'd be big
20
for
minutes
sure
would
if
be
he was back
huge.
next week.
Because you see him in the playoffs, either he's worn down or he's hurt. Like he needs to get back to close to 100%. It might not be possible at this point.
You got 19 days.
Yeah, it might not be possible, but their trajectory was to try and do that.
It's fair. I'll wrap it up with.
We'll wrap it
picks.
up with this. Clemmer, you're the coach of the team. Do you have any impact in terms of what the GM seems to be doing behind your back?
I missed it. What did the GM do?
Caitlin Clark gets blockbuster $5 million offer from Ice Cube's Big 3 League from TMZ. Dave Portnoy, I'll offer Caitlin Clark $10 million to play on our intramural hoops team.
That would
Imagine she just took.
That would be
I
amazing.
wouldn't. That'd be so funny.
That's what a great owner does. So he's not the Dana's the GM. Dave's the
Dave's the owner. Yeah, it's a good
And
point.
if
I don't know if he knows.
If our
he's the
owner is
but-
going to invest in our team like that, this is why the Rockies are failures. This is why the Rays are failures, and this is why our team is undefeated because we have great ownership.
Yeah,
Makes
but
sense.
Bosco, as your I don't think that you should be wanting this.
Why not?
Playing
It's
time.
less playing time for you,
As long as we win.
team player.
I don't know if I'd want.
You could ask.
Clemmer.
I mean,
Why not me?
I'm trying to change the
What's
culture.
your fucking problem?
Ev, let me ask you a
Hold
question.
on, well,
Hey, Sam,
let's-
wait,
go ahead. You go
A
ahead.
healthy debate late in the game, last set. How many guys should be in the huddle? Talking about what's going to be run, end of the game. How many guys should be in that huddle?
In the
Just the 5 on the court or the entire team?
5.
The lineup.
probably the lineup, and then the guys not playing like hovered around.
Also, when you
Yeah,
get
hovered around.
But it's the guy you get the guys that are playing. They're seated. You got
Rico,
to.
did you
There's no
Rico?
seats.
Was
So
that
it's just.
All right, so in this situation, stand.
I'm trying. I think everyone should have been in that huddle. I
Rico?
was
Did you see
definitely
that
there.
fucking bench? It's a rogues gallery of insane people.
Fair enough.
I needed to break those 5 away.
Bosco, are you by any chance? I've gotten in the agent business with this team. You interested in representation?
Yeah,
Representing Jack McGuire currently.
yeah. I could be that. I do want to win. I'm trying to change the culture. I'm giving out
James, did you miss?
awards.
Did you like the W we got?
Yeah, I did. I was very involved in that. I was telling
were,
guys,
absolutely.
screen, this, that. Billy,
Great job.
I told Billy to set a screen. He told me to go fuck myself. I don't know what that means. But
You think it was it'd be feminine to like have
I
to need a screen for separation.
I get
Hey, Billy,
asked,
I
set a
got a problem
screen.
with
Pause.
Meek back there.
Lower your shoulder, bro.
Yeah.
Just lower your shoulder.
I got a problem with you back there, Meek. So what's your problem? You don't want me coaching
I don't
somebody?
think your personalities clash together well.
Why?
I don't think you're fit enough to coach Caitlin Clark
Why?
just because you're Clemmer.
No, because I'm a winning coach.
I would be coaching.
Well, she doesn't. She you know, when you're
Now
when
you
when
coach
you're
Caitlin
sleep-
Clemmer. She does what she wants.
Oh, absolutely.
When you're
That's-
sleeping,
there's-
she's working.
There's like I was at Bobby Bowden, like a famous thing with Janikowski back in the day when all his kickers would like obviously the wide whatever
Yeah.
they'd always miss the kicks, and they had finally had like this elite kicker. And during the week of the big bowl game, he went out and got drunk and got like arrested or a ticket or something. And in the press conference before, he got asked like, "Oh, are you going to penalize like Janikowski for doing this?" He said, "We have different rules for our Polish players." Famous quote. And that's all. Like, listen, if you're that guy. Back in high school, the star player, he don't need to lift weights. He don't need to
Here's
do
how I
what you do.
Here's how I coach Caitlin Clark. Ready?
Oh,
It's LT with Parcells. As long as you show up on Sundays, that's all I give a fuck about.
Here's my coaching advice to Caitlin Clark. You do what you want. That's it.
Yeah.
That's how I coach.
You make the rules.
You do what you want.
You think maybe I could represent her?
Yeah. I'm in the circle.
Legitimately,
500K.
I'm in the circle.
if she plays, should you play 4-on-5?
If she plays, you have to allow 4.
Yeah.
The other team, it's like a rule. Like if you let her play,
we always have
just doubled
have our
every
5
time.
on the 4. Yeah. If we
You
win
gotta
by
go
a lot,
5
win by a
on
lot.
4. Especially with the psychopath ref, you got to go 5 and 5.
Yeah.
Lakers on a back-to-back. I'm going to take Memphis plus the 4. Straight spots play.
Smitty, what you got?
It's a night off. It's a night off before baseball.
Clement, you got anything?
I got an early baseball one.
Okay,
Lines
go
are
ahead.
out. Guardians run line. They're facing the A's. You got Shane Bieber against Alex Wood. The A's are a fucking joke. It's plus 114, so I like the Guardians. And they're on the road, so they'll have the full 9 innings to hopefully get those runs.
Ev, give your play because I want to give you a stat.
I'm taking Seton Hall tonight in the NIT. Like him at home. Fading the Mountain West. I think Seton Hall is very good. I think Richmond's going to be a tough matchup for UNLV to guard. Give me Seton Hall tonight.
So off of a straight-up loss, I just recorded with John Fanta, by the way. That's why I was late for Healthy Debate. But off of a straight-up loss this year, Houston is 3-1. Lost by 1 at TCU. Their wins in those games are an average of 26 points. Off of a game decided by less than 10 points, Houston is 11-2. In those wins, they win by an average of 18.8 points per game. I think Sampson gets in this team's ass, and they smash Duke. I really like the 4.
Bosco, so do I.
Yeah, it's one of those. I know that makes no sense, and some of those opponents aren't equal, but one of my favorite plays of the tournament was Houston in the first round, and granted they played Longwood, but off of a loss in that Big 12 championship game, they smash people. I think they're better. I know they rely a lot on the guards. I don't think Duke can shoot the 3 as well as they do. They do shoot it well on the year, but nobody's better than Houston. I see some late shot clocks. I'm on Houston here.
I said to
It might be the only play I have in the Sweet 16.
Wow.
That's like it. Like I think it's equal matchups. I'm more of a watcher this time. I'm obviously going to bet on Bama, but I'm going to take Houston here.
I think that Duke, if they just shoot the shit out of the 3, like obviously they'll win the game. That's not like a no-brainer.
But that's easier said than done.
Right, well, that's what I was about to get to.
Yeah.
Because you look at that, they shoot 38%, but they're not going to be used to the Houston pressure on that 3-point
Nope.
line.
I don't think it'd
Like it is suffocating. It legitimately does affect your 3. I think the 3-point defense stat sometimes is a little bit like, oh, you just miss open shots like that. Like, Houston legitimately affects the 3-point shooting of other teams.
Yep.
So
They did it to A&M, and we talk about
Scroll down a little bit.
I'm here to curious to hear Bosco's take on this because I almost think Duke is a better matchup for Houston than A&M was.
Dude, Filipowski's going to be legitimately scared of Juwan Roberts. Juwan Roberts is going to slap the floor, and Filipowski's going to be like, I don't want any part of this.
They're talking too much height and stuff. This is like physicality, toughness, and like you said, like they just play so much bigger than they're like what it says on the roster sheet.
So what's interesting off of that too? That's why I made you scroll up. People take a lot of 3s against Houston,
Yeah,
and I think some of that is out of like frustration.
I'm sure.
I wish I could
see
see
it
if
in
you're
the paint.
2-3 feet. Yeah, if
Yeah.
you're 2-3 feet behind the 3-point line, it's just a huck because that's what that 40.3 is. So we'll see. Now they're going to take a lot against Duke, and Duke's going to take a lot against them, and they shoot well. But That's maybe the only side I really like here in the Sweet 16.
There's so many things that stick out to me, like for this too. It's just I like even like the block percentage. Like I just think that Duke's in it for a root. Like they have not played a team like this all.
We'll see about the toughness.
And it came back to who did they lose to? Who did Duke lose to last year? Bosco?
Tennessee, tough.
Bodied them.
What happened in the UNC games this year? UNC
Tough team.
Physical for sure.
Like it's just like every time that I've seen this Duke, like this core, play a tough team, and this is the toughest team. Give me fucking Houston. Like I'm okay with putting my reputation on the line for Houston.
Yep,
love it. Honestly, obviously we'll get deep into the college Sweet 16 tomorrow, but good show, guys. Appreciate everyone watching, listening, like the stream. Thank you so much. That's the show. God bless. See you tomorrow.